Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. So today I'm bringing you a late update for my Throwback 30 project pan. I actually intended for this update to go up on the 28th, but a couple weeks ago my whole family caught COVID and it's been a rough couple weeks. I'm still not 100%, but life must go on, so here we are. This is a Pantastic Ladies collab project that was created by Jessica Lee. This project includes 30 different prompts from 30 different project pans, some of them that are still going on, some of them that are no longer active, but the idea is to kind of give us an opportunity to participate in more projects than we'd normally be able to. There's just not enough time in the day to participate in all of the fun projects that are out there. So this project kind of gives us an opportunity to just participate a little bit in a bunch of different projects. So this project is a year-long project. It runs from July 28th of 2024 to July 28th of 2025. I filmed my intro in August, so I was a month late. And I think at the time I rolled in about 25 products, and I'll be rolling in a few more today. So we have about 5 months left to go in this project. Let's talk about my progress and see what my chances are of getting some of these goals met. I'm not gonna be talking about every single product that I have rolled in here. I'm mostly just gonna be talking about the ones that have some measurable progress. The first several prompts in this project are from the 50 Shades series of project pans. The 50 Shades of Brown is currently ongoing, and that is included in Throwback 30 this year, but I'm already participating in 50 Shades of Brown, and to be perfectly honest, I think I have every single brown or brown adjacent product that I own, other than bronzers and brown eyeshadows, and you can only pan so many of those, you know? They are already rolled into that project, so I don't have a product rolled in for that prompt in this project. That's probably one that I'm just gonna be skipping altogether. I do have a product rolled in for 50 Shades of Green, which is the next prompt in this project, and for that I rolled in my Pacifica Tahitian Gardenia perfumed hair and body mist. I actually use this as a room and linen spray. There's not a whole lot of complexity in this fragrance, but I am enjoying it. Quick aside, I could not find my scale this morning, so editing Rebecca is going to be in charge of putting the current weight of all of these products up on the screen somewhere. So when I rolled this in, this was at 192.18 grams, and I have used it 23 times since. I'm not sure where we are with this. Maybe if I peel back this. Oh, look, I even marked the bottle. How smart was that? I'd just forgotten. Okay. Whew, we have actually used quite a lot more than I realized. Okay, so here underneath the edge of the label, you might be able to see, this is where we started, this line up here, and that was back in August, and this is where we're at now after 23 uses. So yeah, I think that's doable. I think it's totally reasonable that I should be able to get that done by the end of the project. Then for 50 Shades of Pink, I had the Pixie Peach Corrector rolled in. This was weighing 33.32 grams when it came into the project, and I have used it 6 times. The current weight will be up on the screen at some point. You can't really tell, but there is jar at the bottom of this. So I'm just working on the product on the sides. I'm gonna really have to focus a little harder on this if I have any chance of finishing it by July. Then for 50 Shades of Yellow/Gold, which I believe was that last year's 50 Shades project? We have a completed product. This is the Esfolio Honey Cleansing Foam. I think I picked it up at the beginning of last year, and I kind of lost track a little bit of this along with the shampoos that I'm working on. Basically everything that was in my shower, I lost kind of track of my usage, mostly because I went through a few months last year where I was quite ill, and so I wasn't wearing any makeup. I was hardly doing any skincare. I was really not paying attention to my projects at all or doing any tracking whatsoever, but obviously I was still showering. So all the products that were in the shower, I have a rough estimate of how many times I was able to use them. What I have marked down here is that I use this at least 30 times, probably more than that. This isn't my only cleanser. I have a couple of others that I use as well. So obviously I've washed my face more than 30 times in the last 6 months, but that is my best guess for the number of uses I've gotten on this one. I think I actually did cheat a little bit and use this a couple times on my body because, to be perfectly honest, I didn't really care for it on my face. There were a couple things that bothered me about it. First, it stung my eyes. I'm not a big fan of anything that's going to feel like I've gotten shampoo in my eyes. Not my favorite experience, to be honest. Secondly, it was so thick and there was such a rich lather that I would have to use just the tiniest amount. And if you you went overboard, then you would just be there washing and washing and washing your face, trying to get it off. So that was a little frustrating as well. Not my favorite, wouldn't repurchase. But yeah, we got it done. Then for Budget Beauty, which is a project pan that focuses on drugstore and affordable makeup, I rolled in my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is not my favorite primer. I don't really see a whole lot of difference as far as pore filling goes. It definitely does not prolong the wear of my makeup. It came into the project 43.61 grams. I have used it a measly 6 times since the beginning of the project, and the current weight will be up on the screen. Then for Child of the 80s, I picked the Prompt Jelly Shoes. I actually had a pair of jelly shoes when I was a little girl, and for that I rolled in this Innisfree Cherry Blossom Dewy Glow Jelly Cream. So this is a really lovely lightweight gel moisturizer. This is more of a summertime moisturizer for me. I usually go for something a little bit more moisturizing during the wintertime. So I haven't really got a ton of use on this, but I think I should be able to finish this by the end of the project. It has a lovely, very light, mild, and inoffensive cherry blossom scent. It came into the project at 89.78 grams, and I have used it 10 times since the beginning of the project. Hopefully as the weather warms up and my wintertime moisturizers become a little too rich for my skin, I'll be able to get a little more use on this. Next is the Disney Princess Project Pan. So for this one, I randomly selected my princess with a multiple choice, one of those multiple choice wheels, and I got Merida. Her colors are dark green and teal. And for that, I rolled in my Joico Joyful Volumizing Conditioner. I'm gonna put a picture of this up just because I do not feel like getting it out of my shower right now. I didn't take a weight on this because it's enormous. It was pretty close to new when I rolled it into this project, and I was pretty optimistic about my ability to finish this. I think we have about 2/3 of this product left. This is another one of the products that was in my shower, so I don't really have an accurate count on it, but I have used it at least 30 times. This one, I was feeling pretty confident about this one at the beginning of the year, but since I cut my hair a little bit shorter, I have been using significantly less conditioner. And so now I'm not quite so sure we're going to be able to make it, but we'll see how far I can get. Next is the Drop 10 Before Summer Project Pan. And for that, I rolled in a summer themed product, which was my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. I'll put a picture up for you here because I think I finished that back in November, maybe November or December. It was in my empties for one of those months. I didn't really love this one. I think the SPF on this was 25, so I never used it as specifically as my primary SPF. I used it more as a lightweight moisturizer during the summer, and it was fine. It was fine. If I got any in my eyes, it would sting because of the chemical sunscreen in it. I do have chemical sunscreens that don't sting my eyes, but that one did. Not my favorite, would not repurchase, but we got it done. My next product was for the I Heart the 90s Project Pan, and for that I rolled in the Prompt Smells Like Teen Spirit, which was for a scented product, and I rolled in my Levito Nurturing Hand Cream. This is the only hand cream I have ever liked in my life because it is very nourishing, but it sinks in and doesn't leave that really uncomfortable film on the palms of my hands, which is I just cannot stand that feeling. It has a very, very strong patchouli scent, which I enjoy, but if you are sensitive to fragrance, maybe not. I have used this, let's see, 13 times since I rolled it into the project. Not a ton of use. I'm not great at remembering to put on hand cream, although I do enjoy this one. But we are all the way down to here, so a little bit over halfway, I would say. So long as I can remember to use it, I should be able to get this done by the end of the project. The next prompt was for It's Panning Cats and Dogs, and I chose the prompt Munchkin Cat, which was for something with childlike or whimsical packaging. For that, I rolled in my Eliza Vecca Milky Piggy Enzyme Powder Wash. This is like a rice powder exfoliant, similar to, it's the same type of thing that Tatcha has, I believe, has that rice enzyme exfoliant. It's a very, very gentle manual exfoliant. It comes out of this bottle as a powder, and then you add water to it, and then it turns into a foamy liquid and rinses off. I actually really quite like this, despite the fact that it smells like cornflakes. This is where we started, and this is where we are now. So I have used almost half of the product that was in here when I rolled it into the project back in August. It came into the project at 103.60 grams, and I have used it 19 times since I rolled it in. Then for same pan last year, I chose the prompt Valentine's Day, something that was love or heart or Valentine's themed. And for that, I rolled in my e.l.f. Loving facial oil mist, and this one is finished. I managed to complete it after 20 uses in this project. I actually did find this very useful over the last couple of months where it's been very cold and dry. It is not a straight facial oil. There are definitely some other ingredients in here. So it was a lot lighter weight than most facial oils, and because of that, I felt like I was able to use it more often than I would a normal facial oil. Because despite the fact that I do experience more dryness in the wintertime, I do have a combo oily skin type, and congestion is something that I really struggle with. So I have to kind of be careful with the products that I am layering on even in the wintertime. And I felt like this one was a little bit occlusive, but not too heavy for my skin. Really enjoyed it, and it is, yeah, it's done after 20 uses. Next is the Skin is In project, which is a skincare focused project pan. And for that, I rolled in my Pyeongchang Yule Essence Toner. I've only used this 13 times since the beginning of the project. You can see here where we started and where we are today. There's no way. Toner isn't always a regular part of my routine, so even when I'm being consistent with my skincare, which I absolutely have not been, this last several months, I really have not been super consistent with my skincare. But even when I am, it's hard to remember to reach for this. So yeah, I think the chances of us finishing this before the end of the project are pretty slim, but we'll see how far down the bottle I can get. The next prompt was for the That's Expensive project pan, and for that I rolled in my Dior Backstage foundation. This is probably my absolute favorite foundation, but this bottle in particular has been in my collection for a little while, and so I feel like it's time to finish it up. I did not mark or weigh this at the beginning of the project for whatever reason. However, I was able to determine that this is where we are today. I really haven't put a whole lot of effort into this yet, simply because I was focusing so hard on trying to complete my Purito BB creams at the end of last year. But now that those are complete, I should be able to focus a little bit more on this one. And yeah, I don't think it'll be any problem to finish up the rest of this bottle by the end of this project. Then for the That's So 2000s project pan, I chose the prompt Bump It, which is something that gives you volume. And for that, I rolled in my Kenra Platinum I rolled in my Kenra Platinum Thickening Mousse. I don't know why that was so difficult to say. I cannot tell. I have no idea where we're at here. I have no clue. I can't tell by shaking it. It feels like I've still got quite a lot of product in here. This came into the project at 209.88 grams, and I have used it 12 times. Along with not being super consistent with my skincare, I haven't been heat styling my hair a ton, which is when I tend to use this. But we'll see. I've got 5 more months to finish the rest of this. I don't think that that's too much. I don't think that's too ambitious. I should be able to finish this by the end of the project. Next was the This Is Fantasy project pan, and for that I chose the prompts. Well, I chose 2 prompts because the product that I have could apply to either one. Either Unicorn, which is a product that's brand new and has no use on it, or Gorgon, which is a hair care product. And for that, I rolled in my Joycoat Joyful Volumizing Shampoo. I rolled this into the project brand new in August. And like the conditioner, I do think I have a little bit more chance of finishing this one than the conditioner, simply because I double wash my hair. So I do end up using more shampoo than I do conditioner. This is another one that I kind of lost track of. I've used it at least 30 times since I rolled it into the project, but yeah, I still have at least half the bottle left. So we'll see if I can get it finished by next July. Next is Turn and Burn, which is a project that is geared toward finishing up deluxe sizes, sample sizes, single-use products, or products that have a lot of use on them, kind of what we would consider gimme products in another project. And for that, I rolled in this Tony Moly I'm Avocado Sheet Mask. I used it. I actually used this last night. Took me that long to get around to it. I'm not a huge sheet mask user, but I did enjoy this one. It felt very nourishing, very hydrating. I definitely had very hydrated, plump skin this morning after using this. And yeah, I wouldn't mind trying one of these again. Next is Women Who Rock. And for that one, I chose Rachel Platten and her song Fight Song. And for that, I'm supposed to roll in a product that is a little bit of a fight for me to use. For that, I chose my e.l.f. Ride or Die Lip Balm in the scent Just Peachy. This is an extremely thick, nourishing balm that takes a lot of effort to squeeze out. So this has taken me forever to get through, just because I have to remember I want to use it ahead of time. Then I have to stick it in my bra and warm it up for a while, especially if the room is really, really cold. It has a peachy tint to it. which honestly I don't care about because I'm usually applying this before bed, but it smells really nice. When this room is cold, it is so difficult to get any of this product out. It came into the project at 13.61 grams, and I have used it 25 times since the beginning of the project. The last product I have listed here, I don't have to show you because I completed it a few months ago and it went out with my empties. That was for the project Zodiac Panner, and for that I chose Aquarius, which is blue/turquoise, and for that I rolled in my Skin Fix Barrier Plus Triple Lipid Lotion. Peptide lotion. Triple lipid peptide lotion, I think is what it's called. It was a long name. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I actually quite like this one, but I stopped using it because the pump was pretty wonky. It had one of those airless pumps, so there was no tube going to the bottom of the pump. And I do feel like there was still some product left in there when I finally called it empty, but I couldn't get it out with the pump. The pump was not working any longer. It was not bringing product up to any longer, and I couldn't get any product out by tapping it against my hand or anything like that either. So I just went ahead and called that one done. It was a good moisturizer. It was very nice and hydrating, but man, that packaging killed it for me. Anyway, we managed to get it done, and that one is rolling out. So those are all the products I have rolled in this project that I've gotten some significant use on over the last 6 months. We have 5 months left, and I have decided to roll in 3 new products. One is for the Beauty A to Z prompt. So in my intro back in August, I randomly selected a letter, and I got the letter X, and I could not think of anything. Honestly, I couldn't find a product. I couldn't find a product to roll in. I did have one product that I could have rolled in, and that was my Natasha Denona Foundation X. But I think at the time I had finished my Foundation X, and I had not yet received the new bottle that I have from my husband. Even though it's been discontinued, he found me a new bottle in my shade, and so that is back in my collection. And I could roll that one in for the letter X, but I don't want to. I really, really enjoy that foundation. It's a brand new bottle. I'm not eager to see it gone, especially because I can't replace it once it's gone. So yeah, I didn't want to roll that one in. So after a lot of searching through my collection, I finally settled on the Cover FX gripping primer. This is just a little deluxe size of their gripping primer. I have gone through a full-size tube of this. I really do enjoy it. It's most useful to me during the summer when my skin is a little bit more oily and I'm really struggling with longevity. Obviously, it doesn't do anything to control oils. So what I usually do is I put a mattifying primer through the center of my face, and then I will apply this gripping primer around the perimeter. So that really helps keep everything on my face when I'm struggling with the melt in the middle of summer. So yes, I'm rolling this one in to finish. The next one's probably a little bit of a gimme product, but we're halfway through the project, so I could probably use a gimme product. It is for the project Color Pan. I didn't roll a product in for Color Pan back in August simply because I was already participating in Color Pan and had most of my ColourPop products rolled in that project. I could have rolled in another eyeshadow palette, but I was working on so many eyeshadow palettes that just wasn't feasible for me at the time. So now that that project has completed, I'm going to go ahead and roll a ColourPop product in for this prompt. And I'm going to go ahead and roll in my Drop of a Hat blush. You will probably recognize this if you have seen any of my panning videos. I worked on this blush all of last year in an attempt to complete it, and we didn't quite get there. We were close. We were so close. I've taken all of the blush that was around the edges and kind of tried to smash it down onto the bottom of the pan to make it a little bit easier to use. This is a beautiful peachy gold. It is just the prettiest blush. I think it's probably my favorite blush. Even after focusing on it quite hard last year, I am still not tired of it. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this one in to complete. Last, I'm rolling in a product for the Lip Service Project Pan. This is another project I was participating in last year. I felt like I was using as many lip products as I could, but I'm not currently participating in lip service, although that may change over the year. We'll see how it goes. But for that project, I'm rolling in the brand new Matte Maximal Matte Lipstick in the shade Cool Teddy. I am wearing this today underneath that peachy balm that I just put on. This is a beautiful, beautiful shade. Velvet Teddy was always just a tiny bit too warm for me. So when MAC came out with a cool version, I had to try it. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I think I've worn this 3 times so far. So this is an almost brand new product. And on a day-to-day basis, I'm more likely to wear a lip gloss than I am to wear lipstick. So I do not have any delusions that I will be able to finish this by the end of next July. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this in for 20 uses, which I think is quite enough to be getting on with. And that is everything. So we have completed 4 out of the 30 products. And as of today, which prompts am I missing? I'm still missing products for 50 Shades of Brown, Birthstone Beauty, and the Harry Potter project. I'm going to go ahead and try to find products to roll in next month for the Birthstone Beauty and the Harry Potter prompts. But I think I'm probably going to end up omitting 50 Shades of Brown altogether because you can only pan so many bronzers. You know what I'm saying? For the halfway mark of this project, this is not like the most stellar progress. But I do have quite a few products here that I think I will be able to finish by the end of the project. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.